Have you ever wondered how to make your own candles at home? Well, today is your lucky day as we're diving headfirst into the enchanting world of candle making. Creating your own candles is a fun, rewarding process that allows for a wealth of creativity. You can tailor scents, colors, and shapes to your heart's desire. Whether you're seeking the perfect gift, a unique decoration, or just a cozy ambience, homemade candles are the answer. So, what do you need to get started? The list is surprisingly short and simple. You'll need wax, of course, but there are several types to choose from, including paraffin, soy, or beeswax. Next, you'll need some wicks, candle dye for color, and essential oils for fragrance. Also, gather a double boiler for melting the wax, a thermometer, and containers to mold your candles. Don't forget a bit of patience and a sprinkle of creativity. Gather these materials and you're ready to start your candle-making journey. Safety first, right? Before we jump into making candles, ensure your workspace is ready. A clean, clutter-free surface is a must. You don't want any unnecessary items catching your elbow or worse, catching fire. A heat-resistant workspace is also crucial. You'll be dealing with hot melted wax after all. To protect your surface, consider laying down newspaper or a disposable cloth. This will catch any stray wax drippings and make cleanup a breeze. A silicone mat can also do the trick if you have one handy. And let's not forget about the unexpected. It's always a good idea to have a fire extinguisher nearby. If you don't have one, a good amount of baking soda can help to put out small fires. Better safe than sorry, right? Now that your workspace is prepared, it's time to get down to business. Next up, we prepare the wax and wicks. Now this is where the real magic begins. The first thing you'll do is cut your wax into small pieces. This isn't just to make it melt faster, but also to ensure even heating. You don't want any surprise lumps in your finished candles, do you? Now there's a world of wax out there, so let's explore a few of the most popular types. Paraffin wax is a great choice for beginners. It's cheap, easily available, and holds on to fragrance well. Soy wax, on the other hand, is a natural alternative that burns longer and cleaner. It's perfect for those of you who value eco-friendliness. Beeswax is another natural option, with a lovely subtle honey scent. However, it can be a bit pricier. Once your wax is ready, it's time to measure your wicks. The length of your wick will depend on the size of the container you're using for your candle. As a rule of thumb, add an extra inch to your container's height. This will give you room to secure the wick later. Now, wicks aren't one size fits all. They come in different sizes and materials, each with their unique properties. Cotton wicks are the most common. They're versatile and can be used with most waxes. Wood wicks create a cozy, crackling sound and a beautiful flame, adding a touch of luxury to your candles. Then there are hemp wicks, which are known for their long burn time and minimal soot. Remember, the type of wax and wick you choose can significantly influence your candle's burn time and scent throw. Burn time is how long your candle will last, while scent throw refers to how far the fragrance will travel. So think about what's important for you in a candle and choose accordingly. With your wax and wicks ready, we can move on to the fun part. Stay tuned as we dive into the world of melting wax, adding fragrance and color, and finally pouring and setting the wax. The journey to your perfect candle is just getting started. Now, it's time to turn up the heat and melt our wax. The process of melting wax is an important step in candle making and requires careful attention. Ideally, we'll be using a double boiler for this task. If you don't have one, no worries. You can simply place a heat-resistant bowl over a pot of simmering water. This indirect heat will prevent the wax from overheating and burning. As you place your wax into the double boiler or makeshift version, the wax will begin to melt slowly. Patience is key here. Rushing this step could lead to a poor quality candle. As the wax melts, make sure to keep an eye on the temperature. A good thermometer is essential for this. You'll want to aim for about 170 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the ideal temperature for most types of wax. Remember, while waiting for the wax to melt, it's important to stir occasionally. This ensures an even melt and prevents any wax from sticking to the sides of your bowl or pot. Now let's talk about adding some personality to our candles. The best time to add your chosen fragrance and dye is when the wax has completely melted and is at the ideal temperature. This allows for an even distribution of scent and color throughout the candle. Now that your wax is melted, it's time to add some personality. Here comes the fun part, adding fragrance and color to your candles. This is where your creativity truly shines, where you can make a candle that is uniquely yours. Let's dive right in. Once your wax is melted, it's time to introduce the dyes. There's an endless palette of colors you can choose from. Want your candle to match your living room decor? Go for it. Or maybe you want to create a holiday-themed candle. The choice is yours. Just remember, the more dye you add, the darker your candle will be. So control is key. Now let's add some aroma. Fragrance oils are your best bet. They're specially formulated to mix well with wax, and there's an incredible array of options. From the sweet scent of vanilla to the soothing aroma of lavender or even the refreshing smell of citrus. You can even mix different fragrances to create your own signature scent. The general rule of thumb is to add 1 ounce of fragrance oil per pound of wax. This ensures a pleasant, not overpowering scent. Once your dye and fragrance are mixed in, give your wax a good stir. This ensures everything is evenly distributed, meaning every inch of your candle will be beautifully colored and wonderfully scented. With your wax now perfectly fragrant and colorful, it's time to pour it into your chosen container. We're almost there. Let's pour our wax into the container and set the wick. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for, pouring the wax. You'll want to do this slowly and carefully. Rushing this step could lead to spills or an uneven candle. So, take a deep breath, steady your hand and begin to pour the wax into your chosen container. As you pour, make sure to leave about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of space at the top. This will give your candle a professional finished look. Plus, it leaves room for the wick and helps prevent any wax overflow when the candle is lit. Speaking of the wick, it's time to set it in place. Be sure to do this while the wax is still warm and liquid. You can use a wick centering tool or even a pencil or chopstick to help keep the wick straight and centered. Just wrap the top of the wick around your tool of choice and rest it across the top of your container. Why is this so important, you ask? Well, a straight and centered wick ensures an even burn. This means your candle will last longer and burn more efficiently. An off-center wick can cause the candle to burn unevenly, or even worse, cause the container to overheat on one side. Once your wick is in place, you'll want to let your candle cool down and harden. This process can take anywhere from a few hours to a full day, depending on the size of your candle and the temperature of your room. It's important to let the candle harden naturally. So resist the temptation to speed up the process by putting it in the fridge. Patience is key here. The longer the wax takes to cool, the smoother and more professional your candle will look. Now, all that's left is to wait for your candle to harden. So sit back, relax, and start thinking about where you'll display your new homemade candle. While your candle is hardening, let's go over some final steps and safety tips. It's essential to trim the wick to about 1/4 inch before the first burn. This will help your candle burn evenly and prevent it from producing smoke or soot. Patience is key here. Wait until your candle is fully hardened before you light it. This could take anywhere from a few hours to overnight, depending on the size of your candle. Now let's talk about safe burning practices. Never leave a burning candle unattended and always keep it out of reach of children and pets. Avoid placing your candle near flammable objects and always burn it on a heat-resistant surface. And remember, your candle should not be burned for more than 4 hours at a time. Congratulations, you've just made your own candle at home. Enjoy the warm, inviting glow and the delightful scent of your homemade masterpiece.